So you're thinking about moving to Orlando. You've probably spent hours, maybe even days, scrolling through listings online, and you're feeling this mix of, huge excitement and just total overwhelm. I get it. I talk to people just like you every single week, and the biggest question is always the same. How do I actually know if this is the right place for me? Well, today we're going to ditch all that glossy marketing stuff and give you the real locals framework to find a place that doesn't just look good on a screen, but actually feels like home. And then you see it, this massive, beautiful, brand new house for a price that seems almost too good to be true. It's got 5 bedrooms, a giant yard, and it's right in your budget. It is so, so tempting to get excited. But right here, this is the classic trap for out-of-state priors. The listing tells you what the house is, but it tells you absolutely nothing about the life you'll actually be living there. And that's exactly why just watching those slick professional house tours is, well, deadly. I mean, they're designed to make you fall in love with the house itself, right? The granite countertops, the open floor plan, all that good stuff. But they completely strip out the most important context, the location. Where is this home? What is the commute really like every single day? What's the vibe of the area? Without that information, you're just looking at a pretty box. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to use a really simple 4-part framework to look at any Orlando neighborhood. We're looking at commute, planning, vibe, and value. Think of these as the 4 pillars that are going to tell you if that dream house you found online will actually fit your lifestyle, or if it's going to become a daily headache. We're going to start where so many people who are moving here begin their search, the south side of Orlando. We're talking about places like Kissimmee, Poinciana, and Davenport. This is the land of incredible value, where your money goes the absolute furthest for square footage. But, as you're about to see, there's always a trade-off. And this is the number that just stops people in their tracks. For under $500,000, you're looking at newer 5-bedroom homes with over 2,600 square feet. I mean, compared to almost any other major city, that price is a powerful magnet, and it pulls countless searches down to this part of town. But let's look at what's really behind that number. So here's the bottom line. The value is totally real. You get a newer, much larger home. But the trade-off, and this is a big one, is often in your daily quality of life. The 2 biggest issues you're going to run into down here are the commute, which can be truly, truly brutal, and a general lack of that cohesive, master-planned look that you might be expecting in Florida. This right here is the single most important question you need to ask when you're looking in the South. It doesn't matter if you're only 5 miles from I-4 as the crow flies. What really matters is that during rush hour, that 5-mile drive on these slow 2-lane surface streets can feel like an hour. Seriously, if you're spending 45 minutes just to get to the highway every morning, that amazing price on your house is going to lose its shine really, really fast. And here's another little insider tip for these new build communities. You've got to watch out for something called a CDD. This is basically a tax to pay for all the new infrastructure, the roads, the sewers, all that stuff. And it gets passed directly onto you, the homeowner. It can add thousands of dollars to your annual costs for 20 or even 30 years. So it's a hidden expense you absolutely have to factor into your budget. All right, now let's shift gears and head over to the west side and see a completely different picture. In areas like Clermont, Minneola, and a bit further north into Apopka, you're trading that flat, sprawling landscape of the South for something with way more character, both in the land itself and in its infrastructure. And the absolute game changer for this entire part of town is this beautiful ribbon of asphalt, the 429 toll road. This is a perfect example of how one piece of infrastructure can totally define an area's lifestyle. Living near the 429 means you can shoot straight down to the Disney area or cut right across to downtown Orlando pretty easily. It gives you the kind of connectivity that's just missing in some of those southern suburbs. So what's the vibe out west? Well, it's really all about natural beauty. And I'm talking actual rolling hills and these huge, clean lake chains that are perfect for boating and just an outdoor lifestyle. You tend to find more character in the homes, and there's a really high pride of ownership here. And as you head a little north into Apopka, that natural beauty gets more forested and rustic, often with bigger lots and more acreage. Okay, so a huge question a lot of people have is about walkability. They want a real downtown with farmers markets, little shops, and great restaurants. But here in the Orlando area, you've got to understand that not all walkable downtowns are the same. You really have a very distinct choice between a modern, master-planned feel and that authentic, historic, small-town charm. This slide just nails the contrast between the 2 styles. On one side, you have Winter Garden.
It's incredibly popular with this very curated, almost designed, master planned feel. Think wide, pristine sidewalks, new build boutiques, and a really cohesive modern vibe. And then you have a place like Mount Dora, which feels like you've literally stepped back in time into authentic, old Florida. It's a multi-block historic area with brick-paved streets, century-old oak trees dripping with Spanish moss, and a quaint character that you just can't manufacture.
And hey, the options don't stop there. St. Cloud has this historic core with buildings from the early 1900s, which gives it a real sense of history. Clermont is right in the middle of this huge downtown revitalization, so there's a ton of new energy and development happening. And Sanford, right on beautiful Lake Monroe, has a revitalized historic downtown with great brewery and restaurants, though it's got a more mixed, eclectic feel. The key is you really have to get out and walk these streets to see which one feels like your kind of place.
So, as we start to bring this all together, the goal here isn't to say one area is the best. It's about giving you the tools to find the best area for your priorities. It's all about looking past the square footage and asking how a neighborhood is actually going to shape your daily life.
This table really just sums it all up. If you want the absolute most house for your money, you look south, but you accept the trade-off of a tough commute. If you value natural beauty and an outdoor lifestyle, you're going to head west, but you'll probably pay a bit more per square foot. If you want that forested, rustic vibe with more land, you look north. And if you're all about that lifestyle, the walkable towns offer charm and access, but often in smaller, older homes. It's a really clear choice of what you prioritize most.
So ultimately, this is the question you have to answer. Are you chasing the biggest house, or are you searching for the best lifestyle? That massive, beautiful home you saw online might still be the right choice for you, but now you're equipped to look past the listing photos. By understanding the real-world trade-offs in commute, planning, vibe, and value, you can find an Orlando neighborhood that is truly the perfect fit. Happy house hunting!